was saying before, there's differences between the types of practitioners. Um, there's a difference between life coaches and mental health counselors or psychotherapists. And the lines often times get blurred, but it's really important that you as a consumer understand the differences in the level of training, whether it be high school for some life coaches, and I don't mean to smirk, high school or college level psychology students or graduates, um, whether it's master's level practitioners, are they licensed, are they certified, are they interns, um, um, or psychology. Psychologist, excuse me, or a psychiatrist, or anything else for that matter that comes down the line. You know, meditation coaches. There are all kinds of coaches in the world, and I think the coaching is wonderful. But as I was saying, it's very, very important that you understand what it is you are getting yourself into as far as the practitioner and the process, and what it is you want your end result to be. Like I said, I am trained to be a therapist, and what's very important about the training is that they do give you supervision, and you read many books, as you would in any graduate level program. You take many tests, you write papers, and you have supervision, you practice your skills, and you get evaluated, and that's the difference between coaching um, and more formal training in mental health counseling. So coaching is not supposed to be for people with mental health issues, or shall I say, it's not primary as far as treatment is concerned in the lives of people with mental health issues. Learning to work with people with mental health issues or situations is very, very important. So people who call themselves coaches should not be practicing certain therapies with certain clients. You are trained as a mental health practitioner, with books like Family Therapy and other things. You learn about how to understand psychological assessments, and you have treatment planners because, like I said, it's diagnosis and treatment of all of the various personality disorders, and all the different things that can help. We would say, unfortunately, impair people mentally and emotionally. They've got all different kinds of treatment planners that you go through. There's actually a list of them on the inside cover here. You get trained in treating substance abuse. You get trained in group therapy. You get trained in community psychology. You get trained in how to address people with issues in various cultures, poverty levels, socioeconomic levels, and just cultural, religion, all the different, ways that people live their lives and societies that they come from have an effect on the way that they perceive their problems, and the way that they deal with them emotionally and mentally, and how effective that process may be. So mental health counselors have significant amounts of training in different modalities. One of the first books that we studied was the Corey book, which most of us really liked, and Theory and Practice of Counseling and Psychology. It goes over all of the different modalities, psychodynamic process, rational emotive behavioral therapy, and et cetera, brief behavior, brief behavioral, and just everything you could possibly need to learn in psychology, psychodynamic. It's in here. Not everything, but you get my point. A start, okay, just a start. Addictions counseling, massive books. Okay, I did not hold up the DSM, but that's a silver book, and it basically houses all of the different psychological disorders. Because what's really important, is that, like I said, psychology, it stems from a mental health model, and it's a medical model, and the medical model, diagnosis, treatment, and that's really, really significantly stressed, as opposed to coaching. In coaching, there is no diagnosis, and there's no treatment, okay? There's process, there's goal setting, plan structuring, and completing task discussion. So many things seem to somewhat maybe overlap in the untrained mind, and even in the trained mind, as to the coaching process and the psychological process. But one of the most important differences is that you understand that people who have mental health issues or diagnoses like depression or schizoaffective disorder or schizophrenia or post-traumatic stress syndrome or they do not get treated by life coaches, okay? Life coaches focus more on helping people to identify what would help their lives or their relationships or their jobs, their careers, to move in the direction that they wanted to go into, and to help them address what are the steps that they can take in order to get there, and to encourage them or support them in the process of making the moves in the proper direction to reach their goals. Which, for many of us, is exactly the thing that causes our stress and slight psychological discomfort. Most of us, well, I don't want to say most of us, but a great deal of us are not walking around with mental health disorders that are diagnosed and need to be treated. I don't even want to put a number on it, to be honest with you. Some people are diagnosed, some people are not diagnosed. There are many people walking around with mental health issues that are not diagnosed. There are many people who are walking around who are diagnosed. What is important is that when you have a mental health issue, you should not be being treated by someone who calls himself a life coach. So make that very, very clear. Life coaches handle goal setting and strategy and planning, and mental health counselors also do a great degree of coaching in their process. And some life coaches are actually also therapists and trained as therapists. And I think really, if you can get the best of both worlds, why not? Also, some things that you learn in mental health counseling, you definitely go over developmental psychopathology, you go over child psychology, you learn about human sexuality, you really delve into all of the different branches of the human emotional life. And I think that emotional is like a very, very significant word here. Therapists deal with the heart as well as the mind and the emotional, mental health aspect of a human being, whereas many coaches, especially executive coaches, business development coaches, they do not really deal with your emotions at all. Their process is more set a goal, reach a goal. Set a goal, create a plan, reach a goal, stick to your process. So it depends on what it is you're getting a coach for, whether it's a wellness coach or it's a business coach or a relationship coach. So depending on who you're getting coached by and what you're there for, you're going to receive a different, you're going to have a different relationship, and you're going to have a different process. And what's also very, very important about the process in coaching is that the relationship, or not just the process, but the relationship has an effect on the process. The relationship in coaching is more of a client as expert, whereas in mental health counseling, psychotherapy, psychiatry, the expert is obviously the mental health practitioner. And in coaching, it's client-led and client-centered. So just keep these sorts of things in mind when you're looking for a life coach or an executive coach, or if you need a mental health practitioner, then that's what you need to have. Please do not confuse the two. And check qualifications. I cannot stress it enough. Okay? All right, so thanks for listening, and I will see you the next time. Have a good day.